Not all tiredness is about sleep. Sometimes you wake up exhausted even after a full night's rest. And that's confusing. Because if you slept, you should feel better. But there's a kind of tired that doesn't live in your muscles. It lives in your mind. It's the fatigue of holding things in, of thinking too much, of carrying conversations you never had. If you feel tired and can't explain why, it might not be physical, it might be emotional. That's not weakness. That's information. Carrying invisible pressure drains energy. You might not realize how much pressure you're holding. Pressure to be stable, be responsible, be okay, not fall apart, not disappoint anyone, even if nobody is actively demanding it. You've internalized it. And internal pressure is heavy because it never clocks out. You can be sitting still and still be carrying weight. That kind of load doesn't show up on a schedule. It shows up as exhaustion. Decision fatigue, you don't notice. We think big decisions are draining, but small ones add up. What should I say? How should I respond? Do I sound weird? Should I reach out? Should I wait? You might be running hundreds of micro decisions a day in your head. Your brain is constantly evaluating. And evaluation consumes energy. So when you feel wiped out at 4 p.m., guilty. It might not be about the work, it might be about the consistent internal processing. The cost of consistently appearing okay. If you're someone who has it together, you probably don't get asked if you're struggling. You're the steady one, the reliable one, the calm one. By staying composed when you're not okay requires effort. Holding back emotion requires effort. Choosing not to say what you really are thinking requires effort. That effort accumulates, and over time, it becomes exhaustion. Mental load versus visible responsibilities, you can look like you're managing life fine. Bills paid, texts answered, deadlines met. But the visible tasks aren't the only workload. They're also anticipating problems, replaying over and over in your head, conversations, planning worst-case scenarios, managing how other people feel. That invisible labor is rarely acknowledged, but it drains you just the same. You're a battery, and your energy is leaking. Overthinking leaks energy quietly. Overthinking feels productive, like you're solving something, but often you're circling the same question without resolution. And circling is exhausting when your mind refuses to land. Your nervous system doesn't rest. You're like an airplane coming in for a landing, but the airport is too busy. The runways are jammed, and the plane's just got to go round and around and around. That takes energy, a lot of it, even if you're physically still. If your brain is always on, of course you're tired. Being strong all the time is heavy. Strength is useful, but if you never allow yourself to be unsure or messy or confused, you're carrying a version of yourself that never relaxes. And performing strength constantly requires stamina and a lot of it. It's okay not to be the stable one sometimes. It's okay to say, I don't know. That kind of honesty gives back energy. Oftentimes, if someone would ask something, I would always try and come up with an answer and just keep talking till they look like I came up with the answer. But it drains the energy. Now I'm fine just going, I have no idea. That's what Google's for. Rest sometimes feels unproductive, but here's the strange part. Even when you do slow down, you might feel guilty, like you should be doing something, improving something, fixing something. So you rest physically, but mentally stay alert. That's not real rest. Rest requires permission. And if you don't give yourself permission to stop, you'll stay tired all the time. Guilt around slowing down, you may believe that slowing down means falling behind or losing momentum or being lazy, letting people down. But what if slowing down is maintenance? What if your exhaustion is a signal, not a flaw? You don't judge your phone for needing a recharge. Why do you judge yourself? You may not be lazy. You may be overloaded. This is important. Before you label yourself lazy, ask, what am I carrying right now that no one else sees? Emotional weight counts. Mental loops count. Unspoken pressure, it counts. Invisible labor counts. You might not need discipline. You might need relief. If you're tired, there's probably a reason, and it's worth listening to. You don't have to fix everything tonight. You don't have to become more efficient. You don't have to earn rest. If you're tired, there's probably a reason, and you're allowed to respond to it gently. I'm Scott Stewart, and you're not crazy.